Let me just tell you, in order for me to really do this in real life, I would have to be under some extreme duress. I'm so glad that this is a fantasy. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So, today's tag is if I had to declutter one. So, this is a tag that was created by Betty Jean, or she used to go by Butte Bean. And I saw Heather Austin do this video, so I was like, you know what, this will be fun, so let me go ahead and join in. But before I get carried away, let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I love makeup, so that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. Eyeshadow is my jam. It is one of my favorite things to talk about, so we're talking about it. But like I said, I would have to be under extreme duress in order to declutter any of these palettes that I had sitting behind me. Well, okay, there might be like one or two that I don't really vibe with, and I'll let you know why, but I don't want to declutter them at all. And then there's a couple that I'm like it would have to be like a gun to my head or something, because it's just no way. But I put it in here just to, like, you know, make the video fun. So what I decided to do is I just chose 10 brands, you know, that out of my collection that I have multiple palettes from, at least 3 to 4 to make it interesting. So I think the lowest numbers, I at least have 3 more that are in the drawer from this palette. And I picked some indie brands and some more popular brands, but all these brands I love, and you know, so, and then I'm going to kind of give you the backstory of like, I chose this palette, but you know, because there's no way I would get rid of this palette by this person at all. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I chose 10 brands, so video wouldn't be too long. Like I said, all hypothetical, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm not starting in any type of order. I'm just going to pull. The palettes are sitting right here. Just whatever comes out first, okay? Let's get started. Oh, this palette, I would have to be under extreme duress, okay? And the reason why I chose this particular palette, but this palette is so good, there's no way in the world I could get rid of this palette. But the reason why I chose this palette is because there's no way in the world I could get rid of my Giant Wolves, Hummingbird, or Hella palette, or Erd palette. So from Odin's Eye, I said the Norns. Ooh! Yeah, I love this palette. I just did this in a palette rotation. This is gorgeous. And the formula by Odin's Eye is A+++. There's just no way. But when I think about the other palettes that I have by this brand, there's no way I could part with Hummingbird. There's no way I could part with Giant Wolves. There's no way I could get rid of Erd. No way that I could get rid of Angie's palette that just came out, the Hella palette. It just ain't no way. So I said if one had to go, it would be this one, the Norns. But it's a fabulous palette. Honey, you should get your hands on it. It is bomb.com, okay? Nobody even says bomb.com anymore. Y'all know what I mean, though. Okay, so from Alien Cosmetics, or now they are actually called Unearthly Cosmetics, I said strawberry milkshake. Now, I like this palette. I really do like this palette, but out of all the palettes I have from them, I would say probably this one, it's beautiful. I really can't part with this. This is beautiful. I like it. And then I think when I said I kind of did my wrap-up review from, you know, how many palettes I bought in 2021, I said I would probably not bought this one. But then when I look at it, the bottom row just gets me in this one. So I'm so glad this is hypothetical. But there's no way I could get rid of like all I ever wanted. But ironically, I haven't even used the Bunnies palette at all. One day I'm going to use that. I am going to use that. But this, it's a bold color story, but I don't know. Like I said, this is all it just make believe, pretend. Oh, Jesus. This is definitely make-believe or pretend. But when I think about this brand, I was like, okay, it would have to just be this one because Amulet New. Are you kidding me? I love Amulet New. I love Ninhydrin. I love Kodan. So I guess it would have to just be plain Jane Remastered. It's beautiful, but when I think about the other color stories, I guess this would have to be on the chopping block. Ooh. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. But, you know, like I said, this is all hypothetical. I mean, do you see the shift in these? Oh my gosh. But when I think about my other Adept palettes, the love is so real for those other palettes. So I had to choose the plain Jane Remastered. All right, what do we have next? Oh, Mama Pat. Okay, so this palette, it would not be hard for me to actually let go of this palette. If you go to my palette, you know that I love Pat McGrath, okay? But I don't care for this palette or this quad. And it would be the Eternal Eden quad. But you're going to look at it and be like, Ashleigh, but this shade is just, well, this shade, it's got a lot going on. It looks like you've been in it quite a bit. Yes. Because before she gave us blushes, this is what I used as a face palette. And I still do. It gives me some cool tone options. But you know what? I actually would be okay if I parted with this palette, but I do enjoy using it as a face palette. So that's the honest truth. I really wouldn't mind if it just went away. Okay, so if you've been here also, you know I love some Glam Shop. So this was just hard, but then there's some palettes that just can't go away, like Paprika and the Camo Glam and the Turbina. I mean, it's just so many gems, but I chose this one. But it's so pretty. I don't want to get rid of it. I really don't. The one I didn't like, I actually did declutter. But look at this color story. It's beautiful. It's nice and springy and, oh man, it's so pretty. I don't want to get rid of it. I mean, look at this shade, Excensia. It's gorgeous. Oh, but I think this is the one I really like. It's down here. I did not know I was going to be swatching, but oh, I mean, honestly, do you see that? Oh my gosh. I can't get rid of it. Oh, Lord, so glad it's pretend. Oh, man. So, like, at this point, I feel like the palettes I have by this brand are, like, collectors. And I hope that going forward, the parent company of this brand will let them do what they've been doing. Because I do enjoy this brand. And I haven't purchased anything new because sometimes they can dupe themselves quite often. But I'm talking about BH Cosmetics, and you know they just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, so now Makeup Revolution owns them. And I don't know how to feel about that because Makeup Revolution, you know, they copy a lot of mainstream palettes, but they do have a good following. I guess they're financially fit, clearly. So unlike BH, it's sad, but I don't want to get rid of any of these palettes. But when I think about my sweet shops, none of those are going anywhere. But I just chose this avocado toast. Now I know you're probably like, why, Ashleigh? You love green shadows. I do. But there's no way I could get rid of the pistachio palette in the sweet shops. No way. And when I kind of think about this color story, it's like, yes, I have it, but I do have like the, Glam Light. I do have the Dirty Martini palette. So, needless to say, but this palette is gorgeous. If you can find it like at TJ Maxx or anything floating around, I would definitely highly recommend this palette. It's really quite beautiful, but like I said, this is pretend. And these palettes to me at this point are kind of like, I'm using them, but they're collector's editions. They're not going anywhere. And I want to see what the brand is going to put out next. And I hope that, you know, Makeup Revolution lets BH flourish and do what they do. Okay? So, ooh, this brand, I love so many of the palettes. But this one, I'm not trying to declutter. I don't want to declutter, but you know, if it just went away, I'd be okay. And that is Natasha Denona Zendo, okay? Now, what's sad to me about this palette is the color story is really beautiful. I was really excited for it. But what happened was, I don't know, the shimmers just weren't giving what it needed to give. I felt like I had to dig in a little bit too deep. And I felt like maybe it was supposed to be a little bit subdued, but give me the option. Don't just come like, okay, we're not going to show up. Like this shade, I mean, I just wanted it to be more. You know, I felt like you had to do a lot to make it work. The formula, of course, is great. It's Natasha. But I feel like the best side of the palette is actually this side. That's not me being biased because I love green eyeshadows. But I feel like it's really just the truth. But if the palette just, if I had to declutter, I would live. It's kind of like the Eternal Eden one. I would live. Oh man, this is just straight up one of those. I had to choose one out of this brand. And it's a brand that I have, they're newer brand. Everybody's loving them. I haven't seen like one bad comment about it. But like I said, this is all in fun. And I had to choose one. And it's the blends. If I had to choose between the three that are out, between Doll House and Surge ain't going nowhere. Doll House ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere in real life. But if I had to choose one, I just say this one. Oh my God. But it's the perfect rainbow palette. I've never been into rainbow palettes ever in my life, but I got this and I was just like, yes, I don't need another one. This is the rainbow palette for me. It is so beautiful. All jokes aside, this palette is gorgeous. The mattes are doing what they're supposed to do. They are providing pigment. They are blended out easily and they can layer on top of each other without being muddy. Yes, this palette came to deliver and is delivering, okay? But in all fun and games for this video, this one will go away. Whew. Okay, we got two more. All right. So next up, I don't know how to feel about this palette. I don't want it to go anywhere. And I kind of just got this palette. I've had it about a year. I think I got it at the end of 2020. But I don't know. It's beautiful. But sometimes it doesn't give me everything I need. But then I don't want it to go anywhere. And it's the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. But when I think about Naughty Nudes, oh, Naughty Nudes is here to stay. That is my palette. I love Naughty Nudes. This one has beautiful pops of jewel tones. I think what happens here for me is the mattes. It doesn't pull as deep as I want it to pull. And for my complexion, I just need those options. And I'm not the deepest of deep, but I just need the options. Like if I wanted to go darker, I need to get darker and not just be the same shade, even though I keep building it up. And I think that's what's happening here, even though these are two colors that I would love. So, yeah, if I had to declutter it, I would be sad, but it's okay. I would live. Unlike, I wouldn't live if I had to declutter this. Or my Plain Jane Remastered, or the Norns. It just wouldn't happen. But I really like it. I think I would just, use this palette with maybe some other mattes. Look, I can't talk about it anymore. Like it was stressful deciding these 10 palettes, okay? And then the last palette, oh man, the last palette would be this one. If I had to declutter one, out of all my melt palettes, there's no way I'm getting rid of Blueprint. There's no way I'm getting rid of Eternal More, either the Vita or the Morte. I'm just looking back at it. Y'all would say, don't worry. I'm not, don't worry. And the Beetlejuice collection, no way. And She's in Parties, no way. And the Rust, no way. So I chose this one. But here's the thing. The packaging is gorgeous. I mean, it's to die for. It's so beautiful. The meaning behind the collection is beautiful. The color story is beautiful. The mattes perform very well. They're nice and creamy. The shimmers, never been the strongest by Melt, But I just don't connect with this palette. I don't know why. But I just have a hard time making that connection. Like, I like the looks when I come out with it. I did actually do a look with this palette not too long ago. And it was gorgeous. I wore it to work. I did not film it. But I wore it to work. It was gorgeous. But it's something about this that just doesn't allow me to connect. But I would not give it up. Nope. Not at all. Because the mattes are really nice in this palette. These are some really great mattes, Melt. I don't know. Maybe it's the circle pans. Y'all think? Just like I'm expecting little rectangles by Melt, and the circles are just... I don't know. Anywho, those were the 10 palettes. I'm glad that this is for pretend, because Lord knows, I could not participate in this in real life. But it's all fun and games. It's for the fun of the video, okay? So let me know if you had to be like, I just got to get rid of something to play along. Let me know down in the comments below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification so you know when I come out with another video. It should be very soon. Oh, and I meant to tell you, if you're wondering about this look right here, it is Mothership 3 Subversive. And I did film this for you, and where I'm doing 3 looks with Mothership 3. Just as a little makeup playtime. So, she's cute. Anywho, let me know down below what you think. Subscribe to my channel, because I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It is time for the chair dance. Hey, chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Hey. All right, y'all. Bye.